Official week of fall doesn't bring too much with it, but we're going to be discussing these energies very, very gradually. Welcome to my YouTube channel. And this video is going to be the astrology for the week of September 28th through October 4th. So Sunday through Saturday. And so again, we don't have a whole lot going on. We have a couple of things going on that I want to talk about and discuss with you in this video, but this is a pretty quiet week next week. We're going to be having our full moon in Aries on October 6th or 7th going on. So it's going to be very, very interesting and fun to sort of get around in the gamut ways of going about that. But so talking about September 29th, which is a Monday. What is going on this day is we have a first quarter moon happening in Capricorn when the sun is at 6 degrees of Libra, the moon is at 6 degrees of Capricorn, and they are squaring up against each other. So this is about relationship, putting yourself out there, beauty versus practicality, going at a job alone. Because Capricorn can be the loner. Capricorn can be like, you have to be the one to put in the hard work and achieve your own goals. And Libra says, why can't we do it with others? Why can't we collaborate? Why can't we enjoy the beauty of life? Capricorn, well, life is hard. Get real. So you see this square formation of these two energies with Libra and Capricorn. Now, the aspects to this does include a very, very helpful sextile to Mars. So the moon is sextile Mars during this first quarter moon. These are the lunar aspects, and this is the first one. So this means that we have a little bit of chutzpah, a little bit of chi in the air with the moon sextile Mars. We have a competitive edge. We're more competitive. We're more willing to want to win at things. We may meet people who will match up with our competitive spirit, people who align with that spirit in some way or another, that are very go-getting, that are very awe-inspiring. That's the kind of thing that we're enthusiante opening up to. This can bring about enthusiasm for life, wanting to really make the most out of life and wanting to live it to the fullest. This is where this energy can be very, very high up in the charts because you can have just an excitement, an exuberance about life, both work and play, feeling exhilarated about that. People will admire you taking on leadership roles, and because it is a sextile, if you take on a leadership position as a manager, as a governor, as a boss, for instance, or up in a high rating at work, for instance, taking on any leadership role will work out in your favor this time. People will look up to you, people will support you and follow you if you would lead. And there is an admirance of your leadership qualities. So if you have those leadership potentials, now's the time to play the London Philharmonic in that kind of way. So people will respond well to you, not only leading, but really taking the initiative, being the self-starter, being the entrepreneur, being the one who is going to go at things from a very daring and determined place. So you are being encouraged during this sextile to be very brave, be very bold, go after what you want courageously. Um, and so you may also feel a very, very strong sense of fierce nurture, like you're really nurturing others, and it's in a fierce kind of way. It's not soft, it's not tame. You're really assertively nurturing others with really taking up the lead, kind of in a Cancerian way, because we do have to remember Cancer is cardinal. And so cardinal signs are the initiators, are the leaders. And so this gives you a good amount of cardinal energy to work with. And Libra is cardinal air. So it's about relationships and being the one who makes the first moves, initiate the relationships. Now, another good thing is that you can work together with others very, very well at this time because of you taking responsibility, taking accountability, contributing something to the group, putting your piece in unapologetically, and going in that FaceTime direction. Now, the other aspect of this last quarter moon is a very nebulous and illusory square to Neptune. Neptune is currently in Aries, and this is a wide square with the moon at 6 degrees of Capricorn, Neptune at 0 degrees of Aries is going to move back into Pisces on the 22nd of October. But so, Neptune at the very, very beginning of Aries is all about inspiring others as an act of compassion, believing in others as an act of compassion. And the moon in Capricorn wants to give it form, give it structure. So, moon square Neptune, we may not be seeing things clearly. We may not be seeing things as they are, getting caught up in our perspective of it, getting caught up in our feeling about it, not seeing things objectively. It's not a good time for making important decisions because you're not thinking clearly. Your mind is very illogical. You're caught in your intuition. You're in the mucky mess of emotions with this energy. The higher to this is really trusting your intuition and going with it, but it can lead to a lot of confusion with the square. Now, you may also feel more tender, more sensitive to if you get your feelings hurt, if there is any injury to you physically, mentally, verbally, emotionally. Um, that you're very, very sensitive to these things. It's not good to be on drugs of any kind, or it's not good time to get a past life regression or a psychic reading. Not good energy for that. But it is good energy for escaping reality, finding the small ways that you can get out of your mundane, sad, depressing life. Some way of escaping the day to day through writing creatively, through music, through dance, through singing, anything creative as a healthy means to escape reality. This is also wonderful energy for helping somebody in need, being there for somebody, supporting somebody. And so when you contribute and when you serve and when you give someone need, there is a sense of satisfaction that you get from serving other that the other persons get from you in your service. So it's a two-way street here. Another thing that is problematic is that you may misread cues from others and assume things about others that are not true. So you want to really, really don't jump to conclusions. Don't assume. Um, you want to um just really investigate and really put your nose dive into it and really get to the bottom of things to discover what is the truth in the situation instead of assuming that what you think it is at face value on the surface. So you really want to dig deep. Um, you may be deceived by others, or you may be the one deceiving others. So wherever you fall, stay away from the deception. You want to be mindful of your boundaries. So having healthy, strong boundaries is very, very important. And being present for your life. Being open in the five sensory way. Be open to look around and notice the things in your environment. Take advantage and enjoy the pleasures of the present moment. The saying goes, yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, but today is a gift from God, which is why we call it the present. So it's a present from God. The present is a present. So that's what you want to think of it as and make the most of it. And don't fall for the illusions of situations. Look at them clearly as best you can. Now, October 1st, Mercury is going to be squaring Jupiter. So this is Mercury communication, basically grade school, which does pertain to grades K through 12. I just want to make that clear. Grade school means first grade, second grade, third grade, etc. till you get to 12th grade. 12th grade is the last grade. So grade school. That is Mercury. That's the third house. It's your early learning, communication, data, digging into the little details of things. Jupiter is higher education. Jupiter is when you go off to college, go off to university, and learn some higher um, skills and more advanced topics and getting enrolled in subjects that follow your certain path in life. And so Jupiter in that way does relate to your philosophy on life. So it's all interrelated with Jupiter. So Mercury square Jupiter. Mercury is in Libra, so it's very wanting to be diplomatic, wanting to hear the other side's situation. Jupiter in Cancer just wants to feed people, clothe them, nurture them. And so Cancer wants to be very, very private, Libra wants to be very extroverted. So you see how these two clash up against each other. This is yet another cardinal square. So when the small mind and the bigger mind, Mercury, Jupiter, get together in the sky in a very, very difficult formation, this does give us the gift of a positive and optimistic outlook on life. However, because of that optimism, we're so caught up in the big picture of things that we forget that the forest is made up of trees. And so we need to, it's really both and. Be big pictured, be detail oriented. It's not one or the other. There's no binary with this. So you do want to put in a lot of focus on those important details, on those important data points in your life, and don't neglect those. Put the equal focus on those kind of things. You may exaggerate things very, very easily. That's the possibility here. The potential for being an exaggerator, taking things way out of proportion from what they are, making mountains out of molehills. Um, Cockiness, another dark downside of this transit, over optimism in your speech. And be careful because it could veer on the edge of being arrogant, and you don't want to come off as being arrogant. So being very, very hyper aware of when you're projecting, of when you're telling others how to live their life, that kind of thing. So be open to others' perspectives. Be just very, very open-hearted to and open-minded towards what others are thinking, what their viewpoints are. Now, the other thing that you want to watch out for is promising on things you can deliver on because it's so easy to have this surge of optimism, like I can do this, and then you do it and you can't deliver. So don't make false promises that you cannot deliver on. Be realistic in this promise. Take things step by step, one step at a time. Do things in feasible, manageable size, and promise things that you know that you can deliver on. Like I'm going to read this chapter instead of reading half the book. You're probably not going to be able to read half the book because it's such a long book. So read a chapter. That's an example of something that you can do that is feasible that is more manageable. Now, October 3rd, Venus is going to come into an opposition with the North Node, which means that Venus is conjunct the South Node. Both the North and South Node are currently at 18 degrees of their signs, the North Node in Pisces, the South Node in Virgo. They're going to be here until July 26th next year. Um, and so Venus opposite North Node. What does this mean? If Venus, which is love and beauty and harmonious, I mean, I just did a whole video on the meaning of the planet Venus and astrology. So if you want to check out that video, you can go on my YouTube channel and look for it. You'll find it very easily under the videos tab, where I talk about the planet Venus. And I'm going to, in the following videos, I'm going to be doing a series of Venus through all 12 signs. You want to keep your eye on that. So Venus, opposite the North Node, which is your destiny, your point of fulfillment. A couple of things to mention here that it may be very, very difficult for you to understand your emotions when it comes to love. It may be very, very challenging to follow in these types of footsteps. Maybe you express yourself in a given way that could lead to conflict with others. You expressing yourself through activism or a hot shotting or a hot saucing may get others riled up and it may lead to conflict. You want to express your appreciation for beauty in your life in a way that allows for assertiveness and growth in relationships. So, that's something very, very important to keep in mind when navigating through this energy is balancing those out very, very easily. This is a time for reflection, to go within, to for introspection. Um, you may hold back or express your love to others, unexpress your love to others. Um, you may be shy, you may be unwilling to express that, but take the move, take that bold move and express that to others, but be mindful at the same time because it's an opposition. So you do want to open up your heart and give yourself permission to express your feelings and to feel your feelings. It's a two-way street here. Relationship hopping could be a very, very positive thing where you form this connection, it's very, very surface level, and then you lose interest and it dies away and then you move on to this relationship and then just keep on going. And be willing to go deep with the person, be willing to take that deep dive and really understand them on a deep level, really get to know them because then you may find that you don't have to leave your relationship. It is to know someone very, very deep before you move on to that new relationship. And you want to balance taking risks in relationship and healthy boundaries at the same time. So these two need to be in tandem. And that is it. This is a short week. That is your astrology for the week of September 28th, 2025. Thank you for watching. You can like this video, you can share this video, you can subscribe to my channel, you can hit the notification bell, and you can also see me in my next video. Bye, everybody.